Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're dissecting something absolutely wild. We are looking at a massive, independent transmedia franchise, but we're not just stopping at its deepest, most intricate lore. No, we're taking it all the way through to its real-world grassroots marketing and the actual 3D rendering techniques used to build it. We're unpacking the Talibra Saga. This is a sprawling 27-novella epic, and we're going to look at exactly how independent creators are building an entire universe completely from the ground up. They tried to silence the world, but the stone remembers our names. Okay, just let that sink in for a second. That visceral hook drops us straight into the high-stakes, heavily sensory AfroFantasy world of Talibra. You see, this isn't just some catchy tagline. It's the literal core philosophy of a storytelling movement that completely rejects standard industry tropes to create something totally original. So, here is our roadmap for today. We'll start with the world of Resonancepunk, then explore sound as a magic system, check out the evolving visual language, dive into rendering the anime aesthetic, and finally wrap up with becoming a Talibra ally. All right, let's jump right into Section 1, the world of Resonancepunk. The creators actually coined a totally new term for this setting, Resonancepunk. When you picture this, don't think of your generic medieval fantasy with castles and dragons. Think of an environment where the landscape itself actually sounds and feels like a heavy beat. It's this incredible sonic blend of Afrobeats, East Coast hardcore, and deep, heavy 808s. In the world of Talibra, resonance is literally biology. You don't just push back against trauma and systemic control with swords, you do it with sound. Because in this world, silence itself is a weapon. It's used by those in power to force a cold, imposed forgetting onto the people. To really grasp this conflict, you have to look at the core factions introduced around Novella 4.3. You've got the massive orc builders, right? Like the character Turnak, this colossal labor-driven figure with scarred ears who realizes that true strength is actually choosing to hold the weight of the world. Then you have the elegant elf listeners, like Vren, rocking locks and bare feet, who physically tune into the frequencies of the earth. Together, they are standing against the third force, which is this terrifying memory-stealing entity made of pure silence. And then, caught right in the middle, are the giants. Ancient beings completely exhausted from holding the world seal closed, literally just waiting for someone, anyone, to share their burden. Moving right along, let's hit Section 2, Sound as a Magic System. In Talibra, the magic system isn't about casting fireballs. It's fundamentally about active listening. The whole central conflict boils down to resonance versus silence. The third force attacks with an absolute, freezing silence that is so profound it causes people to literally forget the names of their own children. It's a heavy metaphor, right? The ultimate choice is between authentic cultural connection, kept alive by shared rhythms, jokes, and oral traditions, and an imposed cold forgetting. The characters don't fight back by destroying things. They fight back by placing their bare hands on cold stone and actively sharing the physical weight of the world with the giants. It's a brilliant way of showing that deep community connection is the ultimate weapon against systemic erasure. Now let's pivot to Section 3, the evolving visual language. You can really see how their incredibly strict style guide comes to life here. The master visual spec for the franchise demands what they call an arcane plus elf quest plus Afro-anime aesthetic. It's so specific, it requires highly expressive silhouettes, deep melanin skin tones, and this painterly neon amber lighting that perfectly nails a rich Afro-fantasy manga vibe. The result is a world that feels incredibly intimate, deeply mysterious, and honestly, spiritually alive. Now, to keep this unique identity consistent across 27 novellas, the creators laid down some hard rules. The do's are all about emotional color, storytelling, stylized compact anatomy, and intimate framing that shows the actual environment reacting to human fear or joy. But the don'ts are just as crucial here. They strictly forbid generic MMO-style tropes. So no disconnected floating castles, no ridiculously oversized, impractical weapons, and absolutely no sterile photorealism. The art has to retain this hand-painted, graphic punch. It's fascinating to see how this visual style actually evolves alongside the story. The designs physically transform across the timeline. Arc 1 is discovery, so you get really tight framing, swallowing shadows, and cold amber lighting. Then Arc 2 escalates into confrontation. This is where you see fractured environments, dynamic angles, and harsh industrial violence as the pressure builds up. Finally, Arc 3 shifts into communion. The whole aesthetic becomes softer, glowing with dreamlike warmth and fluid architecture, which perfectly mirrors the world waking up and becoming a living, emotionally responsive participant. Okay, so how is this actually made? let's get into Section 4, rendering the anime aesthetic. How do indie creators actually match this high-stakes, super stylized visual world? Well, the creators dropped a technical guide for using Source Filmmaker to nail this specific anime aesthetic. You see, standard 3D lighting usually looks way too plastic or flat for teledrama, so they outline these specific, kind of genius technical steps. First, you strip away the flat default lighting completely. Second, you load your scene into a pitch-black map called Huge Void and drop a pure white green screen panel right behind your characters. Third, and this is the magic trick, you apply a specific console command, Matte Full Bright 2. This forces a stark black and white stylized shadow pass. Finally, you drag that raw pass into Photoshop, set the blending mode to multiply, and composite it right over your unlit render. This manual cell shading hack is exactly how they get that punchy, graphic look. All of this brings us to the Saga's main recurring slogan. The work continues, the work changes, the spiral turns. It perfectly ties the fictional lore straight into reality. In the story, this is the mantra of the orcs and listeners who are doing the endless, exhausting labor deep in the vents to hold the world together. But in the real world, it represents the tireless, everyday grind of independent artists, writers, and 3D renderers building a massive transmedia franchise totally outside of the traditional publishing machine. All right, bringing it all home with Section 5, becoming a Talibra ally. So, why does all this matter to you? Well, because this isn't just about passively reading a book. It's about building a whole new economy around independent art. The Talibra Allies program is a grassroots affiliate network designed to empower fans to earn real, significant revenue. We're talking about a massive 40% commission across all 27 novellas, ebooks, bundles, and merch. 40%. They are literally inviting the community to co-own the financial success of the franchise.
And the playbook equips you to be a true partner in this. The entire program is built on retaining creative sovereignty and completely bypassing industry gatekeepers. When you become an ally, you get the keys to the vault, which is packed with exclusive media assets, behind-the-scenes art, music, and ready-to-go plug-and-play social copy. You're not out there just spamming random links. You are using deep, gorgeous visual and audio assets to independently tell a story that challenges the status quo.
We've seen how Talibra weaves this deep, emotionally resonant magic system into an incredibly controlled visual aesthetic, and then, brilliantly, hands the cheese and the profit directly over to its community. It's such a bold, exciting experiment in independent transmedia. So, my final question to you is this: are you ready to step up, break the silence, and turn the spiral? Dive into the lore, grab those assets, and start building. Thanks for hanging out with me on this explainer, and I'll catch you on the next one.